Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion.
The New Channel. The New Channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you. My name is Lloyd Luna. This is The Big Picture. Good evening, world! Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, wherever you're watching from around the world, good evening. Thank God it's Friday, the 23rd of October, 2020. How have you been, ladies and gentlemen? I am getting myself really ready for this episode because I'm going to speak in English the entire time. Bear with me. Always a challenge. But we're going to enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, because we have an entertainer in the show. So our producer and co-founder of TNC is saying good evening, and I think she's saying good luck. But let's enjoy tonight, because tonight will be an inspirational moment for every one of us. Not a Filipino, definitely our guest, but definitely someone who can inspire. Have been inspiring, in fact, he has been inspiring a lot of people around the world. Been here in the Philippines, has been here in the Philippines for a couple of times, and who knows when he's coming back. Maybe this is a prelude to another tour to the Philippines. Why not? But I'm excited. I got here rushed from traffic jam. You know, traffic in the Philippines is definitely back, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour for a less than 10-kilometer stretch of the road. So we're getting used and getting familiar with the new normal. This is becoming more of an old normal, by the way. The new normal that we used to see is now the old normal because traffic is back. Hello, Jocelyn Manalili. Good evening to you too. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Si Muhammad Nadim is also here on our stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us right now, please do share our live stream link. You can also organize your own watch party, or you can pass on the message through your social media groups, Viber or WeChat, whatever groups you have in there, so that your friends, families, and associates can watch the same show for tonight. You can also join our conversation. Just drop some comments on our comment stream down below. Write down your comments, questions, suggestions. If someone is celebrating their special moment or special day, please do let us know so we can greet them as well. You can also watch us live on youtube.com/TNC Now. And if you are going to watch us on youtube.com/TNC Now and drop some comments in there, you can get an opportunity to have a gift courtesy of Unisol and TNC. Ito po yung pwede ninyong mapanalunan. You can get this for free if you're going to watch us on youtube.com/TNC Now. What is it? The item that you can get from us? Please watch. Washable face mask worth 600 pesos courtesy of Unisol and TNC. If you're going to, if you live within Metro Manila, and we chose you at the end of the program to be the lucky viewer for tonight, the delivery is on us. So again, watch us on youtube.com/TNC Now, and drop some comments, good comments in there. We don't want bad comments, by the way. Good comments in there, and yeah, let's see if you will be the lucky chosen one for tonight. So again, the item is courtesy of Unisol and TNC. Wow, exciting episode for tonight. I think the guy is gonna give us some sort of a surprise number. He's a singer, so I bet he will sing. Who knows? Anything can happen, right? This is live. But before I call in my guest to the studio, I'm going to invite you to take a look at the headlines from the country's oldest English running newspaper, the Manila Times. Justices decry court coddling of Lloyd. Pope endorses same-sex unions. No BSP digital currency in near future, according to Jokno. Chinese vaccine maker applies for local trials. GOA seeks transparent procurement process. Exodus of Chinese workers continues. LTO extends validity of expired licenses. DTI relaxes control measures on malls. Headlines presented to you by the Manila Times. For more news and information, please go to manilatimes.net or download the application at digitaledition.manilatimes.net. All right. So, let's get to know the person that you're going to watch the entire time and get inspiration from. You know, the guy is one of the best singers, songwriters to come along since the heyday of Tin Pan Alley, according to who? Not me, but Barry Manilow. What about that? Our guest is a triple threat, a first-class entertainer, musician, a top-notch vocalist, and a critically acclaimed songwriter, recording artist who tours internationally each year. I don't know how he how he does it this time, playing countless shows for his dedicated fan base. He has recently released his latest album, Whatever It Takes, a perfect title for an artist who has endured quite a long and winding road through his musical career. Starting out playing jazz saxophone, something like that, at age of 8. Is it normal for someone age 8 to do this? I doubt it, but he did. Went on to be the lead singer in famed Hollywood teen pop band Candy. I don't know what year this is. I'm gonna ask later on. But the band is called Candy before embarking on a multi-major label journey that would see him release many high-quality albums of original songs. He has a nationally charting single, won Best Male Vocalist of the Year at the Hollywood Music and Media Awards, was the opening act on Barry Manilow's Greatest Hits tour, raised thousands of dollars for charity causes, by the way, he believes in, and was even trained by former U.S. President Al Gore to deliver presentations around the world on climate crisis. Now, this guy, our guest for tonight, has toured the Philippines many times, appearing with such notable artists such as Lloyd Luna. Oops, not Lloyd Luna, sorry. That's me. Rex Smith, John Ford Coley, and Jean-Claude Gumo of the Cascades, among others. In his well-received concerts, he would even sing one song each night in Tagalog. I'm excited to hear one Tagalog song tonight of his fans in the Philippines. He remarks, of all the places I play in the world, listen, I have a real soft spot for my fans in the Philippines, he said. They are so supportive, warm, and generous. And of course, just about all of them are great singers, so it literally puts the pressure on me to do my best. And you are just about right. Our guest for tonight is Kyle Vincent. Hello, Kyle. Thank you so much for coming to the big picture. Appreciate your time.
Salamat po, magandang gabi, Lloyd.
Okay, you started it. Do you want me to continue with the Tagalog thing?
No. That's all I have. That's all I have.
Okay. Good thing.
Your English is fabulous. Your English is fabulous. Don't worry. You sound great.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Appreciate your time. We really are honored that you're here. It's not really the best time to do an interview if you are in that part of the world. Where are you live streaming from now?
I'm live streaming from my home in Western Massachusetts on the East Coast of the U.S.
And the time is?
I don't know, 1:00,000 in the morning. You guys woke me up. I have no idea. I think it's 7 a.m. or something. I don't know. I'm a zombie right now.
Don't worry.
I'm trying to be awake.
You should, at least for the next 45 minutes. After that, go back 45. To your bed. Yeah. No, not that long. You go back to your bed after, and then who cares? I mean, right? You just sleep after this, but not during the show. Thank you so much again for coming. It's an interesting time of the year. How are you?
Yeah, it is interesting. That's for sure. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. It's been it's odd. It's it makes you want to complain, and say how awful things are, and I can't play shows and I can't tour. But so many people have it so much worse that I find myself seeing it from the other side, seeing how fortunate I am to be healthy and to have space, clean air, and space to run around in, and not have the traffic of the Philippines right now. So I'm sorry you're having to endure that. But in a way, it's kind of good that the traffic is back, because that means the people are getting back to work, you know? So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, half good,
Yeah.
half bad. But yeah, it's very interesting. This is unprecedented. Nobody expected it. What was the first thing that came into your mind though, when you hear about this global pandemic thing that restricted our mobility, really?
Well, I was on the West Coast visiting my mother in Northern California when things started to happen. It was a big birthday for her. So I did one show out there, and then that's been it for the last 8 months or so. Um, but for me, it wasn't a big change because I've always worn masks on airplanes for about the last 10 years. A lot of times, I was the only person wearing one, but I learned about that in Japan, where people wear masks all the time. Usually, when they themselves are ill or sick, they
Mm,
wear a mask, and so that they don't pass it along to somebody. So I learned that there, and I wear them on the airplane all the time. So that
mm,
wasn't a really big change for me, but
mm,
not being able to see family and friends is definitely the toughest part of all. And then next is is not being able to be with fans, not being able to play shows. It's very unnatural for me. This is very not normal.
mm,
Um, Usually I'm on the road half the year, and I'm on an airplane the other half of the year. So it's it's a good time for reflection and to get things done that you haven't had time to get done. I'm archiving a lot of things. We're working on a ton of projects. The work has not
mm.
stopped one moment for me.
There was
Um,
there was an offer for an airline that you can fly anywhere. I don't know if you get the news. So they
Send it
just
to me. Send it to me.
yeah, I mean it's true. You just board and then the airplane flies anywhere and then we'll take you back to the
Wow.
airport. Yeah, I
Wow.
heard
I love
about that.
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but hold on. The first few days and few weeks must be really hard considering that we are not used to this kind of
Yeah.
quarantine, lockdown, circuit breaker, whatever they call it in many parts of the country. But being there just inside and you are not really used to it, what were the coping mechanisms that keep your sanity?
Well, um, it kind of is a daily struggle, definitely. Um, Writing, music, and other things help. Uh, the biggest thing that helps me is being outside in nature and being with trees and animals and breathing air and walking around in nature. Without that, I would go nuts. I really I need that. Mm, and I guess that's it. And just it's really, as I said, it's a time of reflection, which can be good and bad. It's too much too much reflection could
Too
start
much.
driving you a little nuts.
Exactly.
The lack of social interaction, the lack of a simple hug, really takes its toll. I'm fearful when I get back on the road because I'm going to attack everybody I see with the biggest hug. So I hope they're ready for that.
And they're not really afraid of like, oh, no, 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 no. Even if you're Kyle, don't
That's
hug.
right. Here he comes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lloyd Luna Kyle Vincent tour in the Philippines.
Please, please. I mean, let's talk about it. Definitely, I'll be really excited. I produced my own album, by the way, 2 years ago. I did
Wow.
all original Filipino songs, love
Yeah.
songs, in fact, pop song, and it's now on Spotify. Well, it has been there for 2 years now. But anyway,
Wow.
can you walk us through how did you get into this business? There are so many singers out there still struggling to find that special break,
Mm.
rare break opportunity. How did you get into this business?
Um, well, those are kind of two topics in a way, but the way I got into it was just kind of by accident. I just, as you said earlier, I started playing a saxophone at a very young age. I was very naturally musical. I don't know why. I was singing at a very young age, and grew up hearing melody and hearing harmony. Every song that was on the radio, I was singing harmony to, and I thought sounded pretty good. So I
But
started playing sax.
parents are
I'm
not
sorry.
singers or musician. Your parents,
Well,
family
actually,
members.
my mother was a little bit of a singer, yeah, and she plays piano, so there was definitely musical genes there. My father was the greatest opera singer in the shower has ever heard. I mean, it was unbelievable. He had this really deep baritone, and he had a very heavy accent, Spanish accent, and so he would be singing in the shower. You'd be like just waking up in the morning, and hear, you know, like, oh my god, who is that? It's like Pavarotti's in the shower down the hall. So I think there was some genetics there. And I just went on, and I got sick of jazz. It was too much jazz on the saxophone, so I moved on to completely the opposite. And I picked up a bass guitar and started playing in a punk band. I got away as far as I could from jazz. And then I joined a pop band in Los Angeles. We had some pretty good success. I left that. I went on to solo, and I just kind of never stopped. It wasn't really a plan. It just kind of happened.
It sounds easy.
I don't mean to make it sound easy, because it's been anything but easy. It's been, I've had one kooky career. I was just speaking last night. The new album is distributed by the biggest, company in the world, Universal. And I was on the phone with them last night. And the main person over there who just signed this new album has been, my fan and friend for so many years. And she says, I thought, Kyle, this was going to be the perfect album. This is going to be the one that finally breaks through. And the release date was March 20th, 2020, which was the day that Universal shut their doors and sent everybody home, was the day my album was released. And we were just saying, not again. I fear what's going to happen the next time an album is released. So I've definitely hit a lot of bumps in the road.
I also wonder, like, okay, this is released, so go home. And then it's kind of hanging in the balance. You cannot even get your award. Do you have any idea how many download did you get? Because everything went on leave. I mean, everyone went on leave after that.
I have no idea what's going on there, but we've got some great news coming up soon. We're going to relaunch this, and there's more to the story, but I can't say anything about it yet. But just follow me and you'll know. But we're not giving up on this record. We're going to reintroduce it to everybody.
Oh, definitely. Consider it as a rehearsal.
That's right. It was like an intro. That's right. Yeah. This is weird because it's backwards, so I'm like tilting my head, but I see it go the other way. That's why I keep doing that. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, Star Wars did that first, right? I mean, backwards. So
yeah, I guess it's funny.
Yeah, you're just about okay. I mean, you're following
I'm just about okay. All right. Good.
Perfect. But you're talking about highs and lows. You didn't mean to make this really sound so easy, your career. What was the lowest point?
Honestly, when I say it's been like this, there really have been many, I guess, low points. Again, you have to keep it in perspective. A real low point is not having food. This is a kind of, career low points. I don't consider it, the end of the world. It's just a setback. And it depends on how much perseverance you have from within and to get you through those low points. But there's been several. Usually I would, you sign a big deal, you're all excited, everything is going to be wonderful, everybody loves you, and then somebody gets fired at the record company, or something happens that's out of your control, and all of a sudden the phone doesn't ring, and there is no money coming in there, and there are no gigs, and there are no interviews with anybody, and you start to wonder, well, I don't understand. I thought I wrote good songs. I thought the album, and you start to question yourself, and that's what you have to really fight, because you want to by nature, you turn it on yourself and you think, well, it must be something I am not doing or something I'm doing wrong.
Mhm.
Many times, if not usually, it's really not that, or maybe it's a little combination. And to me, I don't know what it is inside of me, but I certainly have got to the point of giving up, close to giving up so many times. And something inside of me just says, nope, one more time, one more time, one more song, one more show. And then you do that show, let's say in the Philippines, and you see 1,000 people in the audience singing with you and crying, and you go, what was I thinking? How could I think of giving this up? You know, even if I don't do it for me, I have to do it for them. And so that's what keeps me going. But don't think for a minute there aren't. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been pushed to the point of giving up many, many times, and I guess thankfully I
Yeah.
crawl out of that. Yeah.
Who do you turn to during these lowest moments? Do you have a sort of a accountability partner, a friend, a bandmate, parents, families, relatives?
That's a really good question. I guess close friends keep me grounded, and they are there to tell you everything's going to be all right, even if you question it and you're not. Yeah, all right, you can say that, but but time is probably the best thing I turn to. Time gets you through things, and as I said earlier, nature. Just being being grounded literally, being on the ground literally. Take off your shoes and touch the ground.
Mhm.
Go hug a tree. Those things keep me grounded.
Right. That's an interesting and inspiring thought, because people normally, when they give up, it's just the end of the road, and then they just find another things to do, and they don't come back. And your particular case, wow, it's just amazing that we know that there are parts of your journey that says you were there at some low point. Joyce Christian says perseverance gets you through the low points. Yes. See.
Yeah, and
Some here.
again, it's kind of easy to say that, and I don't mean to make it sound so easy, because we've all been through, most of us have been through breakups, relationship breakups, and you think it's the end of the world, and for some it is. I mean, and it feels that way. It really does. And when you have career low points, it does feel like, well, and maybe you should go on to something else. I'm not saying, sometimes that's the right move to try something else. I mean, if you keep persevering with something that isn't connecting and isn't working, well, maybe it's not right. Maybe you should reassess and go on a different road. I guess I tweak things and make little changes, but the one thing is you have to be true to yourself. You can't, if you follow trends, especially in music, this is a perfect correlation here. If you try to follow what's hot in music right now, a certain sound, a certain way of writing, you're going to be behind, because the song I write now isn't going to be heard by anybody for probably a year.
And there are a lot
And
I have listened to. I mean, probably you have the same experience, that they are just there for the fad. After a while, it's
right. Where was I yesterday? Oh, I was getting my hair cut yesterday, wearing a mask and everything, and they had American country music on. I actually am a fan. I have a lot of big, my favorite artists. Many of them are country artists, mostly kind of from the 70s and 80s. But I was listening and I was making fun of it, because every song had the exact same kind of chorus. I mean, rhythmically, lyrically, it was the same pattern of writing. And that is not inspiring to me. That sounds like somebody, like you just said, trying to make a buck and just follow the fad. But if it's a hit song, I mean, I guess they know what they're doing. I couldn't do that. I have to write from the heart. I don't listen to the radio when I write songs. I never do it. I listen to this.
Same case. I mean, it's distracting.
It is distracting, man. It is. You're right. And
But it's tempting, right? I mean, agree with me if you will, Kyle. But it's sometimes tempting to just follow wherever what they call it, the fad, or there's a term
Trend.
for this, the trend is going,
Yeah.
really. But end of the day, real artists have to really go inside and dive deep to what he feels is something that he really truly believes in.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it also depends on what your goals are. I mean, I could move to Nashville tomorrow and hook up with some good writers there and write those formulaic country pop songs and probably be very successful and have a huge house and make a lot of money and win awards and all that. But I feel like I could probably do that, because I know how to write songs. I just don't want to. I mean, it's just it's not just selling out. It's 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 kind of selling your soul. For me, for others, it's a job, and that's great. And I admire that.
What made you that kind of person? That deep? Is it the experiences? Is it your upbringing? If you can pinpoint one particular thing that made you, the person that you are now, really trying to believe your inner self rather than what the world needs or wants.
Boy, you ask great questions. I got to tell you, I'm very impressed. Usually I get, what comes first, the music or the lyric? Why did you become a vegetarian? Was it anyway?
I'm going there.
I appreciate this. Yeah, those are coming next. Don't worry. Perhaps it was my upbringing. I mean, my parents were very, very political and kind of deep thinking, and I don't know if they intentionally taught me, but I just by observing and being in certain situations with them, I saw that they were very they saw below the surface of things and wanted to be generous and compassionate and humble and all those things. And I think I did learn some of that. I grew up in a very, very ethnically diverse part of the country, and a school system that was very integrated with different races and cultures. And so you're forced to acclimate, acculturate. You have to quickly be able to fit in with different cultures. I learned that from a very young age, from like 7, and all the way through high school. My friends came in all shades and all backgrounds, including Filipino and Chinese and African American and Indian and everything you can imagine were my best friends. And I have no idea where the question was, but somewhere in there is your answer.
Somewhere there. You got it somewhere there. I'm also trying to figure which part, but I'm going to review.
Sorry about that. Just keep replaying it. I think you'll find an answer in there somewhere.
We'll find an answer for sure. Okay, I'm going to pause for a short commercial. And then when we come back, more of your story and your inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. Please stay on our stream because the big picture on TNC will be right back. Stay on our stream.
Since I got my new place, I've enjoyed every single day here. Hotel-like amenities, attentive staff, resort-style living, all in a premium location. So life here is easy and convenient. That's why I invested in another unit. I can earn more, and they can enjoy the very same things I enjoy at home. What a life! So much more rewarding. So much more to life. SMDC.
We need beauty every day. We need power every day. But are you ready?
Ready? Ready.
Beauty is power.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Before I call in back my guest again for tonight, I would like to invite you to watch our other shows on the new channel. The Big Picture shares inspiring stories of notable personalities Mondays through Fridays at 7 p.m. HR Hotline with Jessica Bastillo introduces us to the wonderful world of human resources management Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 1 p.m. Have an insightful Saturday afternoon because the family business is everyone's business at 4 p.m. The fourth project is about life, business, and success. UAE, Dubai, 6 p.m., 10 p.m. Philippine time. Usapang kagandahan, kakikayat, kasiyahan is show that enlightens us to find the beauty in everything. Usapang beauty. Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Discover your life purpose and learn from others' turnaround stories by tuning into U-Turn Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. Home Buyer is where you hear remarkable stories about building and owning properties Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. YOLO is for all of us to understand that law is fun and equally cool. Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Two leaders in one platform, TNC The Talk, Mondays 12 noon. After shift, relax and share a boost while we chat about our choices and lives that we live after work. Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Discover your talent and learn how you can share with others through Win Within, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Dream, achieve, nurture, and inspire. Tag your kids along and watch Danny Art Show Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Okay, I'm going to read the other part when we come back from our second break. In the meantime, I'm excited to still talk with our special guest for tonight, the board, Kyle Vincent. Sorry, the board.
Did you just call me Nakababa Goat?
No, the board. You're doing nothing but reflect and reflect. Too much reflection.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I told you. It's too much damn reflection. That's right.
Too much.
I love that. Nakababa Goat is one of my favorite. It's one of the words I've learned in Tagalog because I like to be known as Dr. Nakababa Goat.
Yeah, it's deep. It's very deep. It's nakakabagot. Nakakabagot is board. But good thing you know that. I mean, bad thing for me because you know that. But good thing that you know that. Good. Okay. So back to your story. It's not really a smooth sailing journey as is for everyone for sure. But this is a competitive business as well.
Sure.
What is that key to making it to the business? I mean, business wise, like a great manager. Because there are a lot of great musicians. They do great music, but for some reason they doesn't work. Right.
Well, I didn't used to believe in luck, but I changed my thoughts on that because there is some happenstance that occurs if you're in the right place at the right time, you meet the right person. But the follow through is what's important. Are you a nice, kind, humble person that they want to do business with? That's really important. Nobody wants to work with a jerk, you know. Sometimes you have to. They're just so famous. You have to work with them. But in general, if you're starting out, being a nice person can really go a long way. And saying thank you and following up the next day with a thank you. That's such a forgotten gesture, unfortunately, these days. I think in today's market, today's technology, the opportunity, there's so many outlets. Let's just talk about mine, for instance, which is music. It's just unbelievable. And there's so many, it can actually be overwhelming. I'm sure you've discovered this. And so it's a little difficult to stay focused because you're like, well, I need to make a video, but wait, I need to make a TikTok, but wait, I have to get followers and likes and Instagram. And you end up, just having a cup of tea and going for a walk because it's too much. So you really have to stay focused, take a deep breath, and then, once you put it out there, you just kind of have to hope that it connects, that whatever product you're doing, whether it's a song or a book or a widget that you made, at some point, the word has to get out there and you have to connect. It has to connect with people. Sometimes that's out of your hands, I think, a little nowadays. I think some of that is luck of the draw.
Yeah, everybody can be really a musician right now, considering that you can just get an aggregator and then you just put your songs in Spotify and iTunes, whatever the
It
application is. But
definitely, yeah. And Lloyd, it, as you know, because you're on Spotify with your own music, if it's good music, you hope it rises to the top. But the problem is the waters are so muddy right now. There's so much because everybody is a musician, everybody is an author, everybody's a photographer. So the people who really have the art and have something special to show in whatever it is, it doesn't have to be art, it could just be a product or a service you provide. It's very hard. It's difficult to stick out. As many opportunities as there are has actually made it easier and more difficult, of course.
mhm,
So that's very overwhelming, and you just have to. I think you go back to basics, which is just do what you feel in your heart, do what you do best, and more
mhm,
importantly, what you enjoy. And if it hits in some way, it hits. If you only will be satisfied with making billions of dollars and having all the riches of the world, well, good luck. That's never been my motivation. Not for one moment of my life has that ever been a motivation. So I'm okay with that. I'm
mhm.
okay. That's I. You asked earlier what gets you through the downs. I mean, as long as I can pay my bills, and there's been many times I haven't been able to, but as long as I can just survive, basically, I'm pretty much okay. As long as I'm doing what I feel is honest. At that point, there's nothing I can do. I can't force people to subscribe to my YouTube channel as much as I'd like to, but I can't
Or
do
pay,
it. I
or
just
pay,
can't
or
do it.
pay someone to get followers for you.
Yeah, I suppose that's the next step, you know. But a lot of those followers are, robots on an island somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly,
know, but
exactly.
they're
You
good.
know,
I love robots. That's fine.
but we live in a world where people are judged based on the number of followers on Instagram, YouTube,
I,
and
I
social
just
media.
don't even get me started because I'll start standing up and ranting and raving because it drives me nuts. It really does. It's like I didn't get into this to beg people to follow me because I don't want to be begged. I don't want to.
Mm,
I don't want people to tell me follow me. It just. But we have to. You and I have to do this because there are actual like markers you have to hit. For instance,
mm,
I can't go live. I can't monetize. That's the secret behind the scenes with YouTube. I can't do that without a certain number of followers. That's one reason people beg you to follow them and subscribe on YouTube because it there are certain markers you have to hit in order to do
mm.
things. God, my head looks so huge on this video. That's why nobody's subscribing. And so yeah, it's overwhelming, and I have to laugh at it. Luckily, I have a way of laughing at adversity my whole life, so that definitely gets through. Get the humor will get you through anything.
Feels like you're used to it anyway, so no problem. Okay,
Well, also, I'm
let.
not 20 years old. I mean, if I was 20 this
Oh,
decade, I'd
really?
either,
Oh my God,
shockingly,
I got a wrong assumption. I thought you were just about me at 22 or something.
oh, really,
23.
22. That's nice. When do I get to
23
kill
years
you?
ago.
Yeah, yeah. Don't believe Wikipedia. I don't believe anything they say.
Someone edited it.
Nevertheless,
Someone edited it for you. So.
oh, I've had friends do that just to mess with me. They put all sorts of crazy stuff in there until I catch it. Um, but if I was like 20, let's say, or it's just like really young, I would have, you'd have this like boundless, naive energy. I have boundless energy, but I kind of unfortunately, I know the reality of the business. I know the reality of the world. So I don't pursue certain things. But if you were like 18 or 19 or 20 and you were just starting out, God forbid, in the record industry, um, I think you would just love all these like, I'm gonna TikTok all day long and I'm gonna Instagram live all day long. That's great. But as you kind of have been doing it for a while in the industry and all this, those things aren't really appealing. I mean, they really have to drag me kicking and screaming for me to make a TikTok video. It just doesn't really interest me. I'll do it, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Again, I have no idea what your question was. I'm just babbling away.
It's okay. It's 7 a.m. there. People understand.
That's right. I haven't had enough tea yet.
No, but I think the motivation for you is so deep that that these technological wonders, no matter how wonderful they are, amazing, tempting as they are, I think it doesn't really matter. So if you are trying to make some priorities as an artist, so just keep on doing quality compositions and things like that, and you are not really disturbed or distracted by the noise. I think you're able to separate what the noise is from the real thing, and for me, that's really inspiring. I mean, maybe it's not about your generation that you're able to have seen it
Watch
all
it.
many years. Yeah,
What do you mean, my generation? What are you trying to say?
I mean our generation, millennial generation.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You and I,
Oh my,
us young kids.
my God, Lord, I lied again. Sorry.
That's okay. You put it, you really put it much more succinctly in a much clearer way than I did. But you know, you write the song. Well, we're just talking about music, let's say, but it applies to anything, because your show is about inspiring people in business and other parts of life, and it applies across the board. So you write a song, you create it, you get the idea, you write a song. I'm writing a new one right now. Behind God, I don't know. Behind the camera, it's a piano.
Behind me is a window.
That's right. Somewhere in this room, there's a piano with lyrics on it that I'm looking at right now, a new song that I'm working on. So I'll write that song. I'll finish it. Okay. Then I'll record it. I wish that was the end of my job. In the old days, that would be the end of my job. I would just turn it in, and other people would turn it into this massive hit, and they would tell me where to go, and everything would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate to live in a time when that was still going on. Nowadays, your team is very important, but it's really on you. I wear the hat of record company executive, producer, writer, singer, artist, merchandise manufacturer, album cover designer with other people, but it all starts with me. What merchandise that we're going to do, chef so I can keep myself alive, gardener so I can grow my vegetables. I mean, it's laundromat boy, construction kid. I mean, you got to do every aspect of your life and your career right now. It's on you. And if you don't do it, nobody's ever going to hear that great song you wrote. So you could have this wonderful song that's going to sit on your piano forever, and nobody will ever hear it. Or maybe 100 people will hear it. And so
that complicates
kind of unfortunately, because again, I kind of fight this, but you just have to play the game. And it's really always been that way. I think it's, as we said earlier, it's easier now because there's more outlets. But it can
it's easier. It's easier and more difficult this time. So it's there's
That's
a
right.
figure of speech about that. It's easy, but it's not. So anyway, it's
That's
a
right.
figure.
Before there were only certain channels and certain, if you do this, if you go to dinner with the right people, if you do enough radio interviews, your song has a chance. That was really easy. It was a simple, dedicated path. We all went the same path. Now, God knows, your album could just be sleeping for 2 years, and all of a sudden a 7-year-old kid uses a little bit of a song on a TikTok video, and you're the biggest thing.
Oh yeah,
Could happen.
you talk about this Gangnam Style Korean that
That's right.
massive hit, right? I mean,
Wow, you're showing your age. That was
understand the
before my
lyrics. What
time.
was it? I didn't even get the lyrics. He said dan 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 dan. Anyway,
Something like that.
I'm going to pause for another commercial, and then when we come back, I hope you're in for a game. It's an easy game, and then
I'll do
more
my
of
best.
your more of your story, and let's talk about a bit of the live events in the new normal and how you appreciate it. What are the
Sure.
things that you plan moving forward? So don't go away, ladies and gentlemen, because the big picture on the new channel will return. Please stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Again, I would like to invite you to watch our other shows on TNC. COVID Stories, Saturdays at 10:30. Foreign Affairs, this is Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Money and More, 8:30 p.m., 5:30 a.m., California, USA time. Healthline, starting next week, will be Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Women at Work, Saturdays at 9 a.m. Awesome Day, Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Cybernext is Wednesdays, 12 noon. And Tech Evangelist Marvin Salazar will be taking a deep dive about everything tech. Tech U, Fridays at 2:30 p.m. Catch also our other original shows such as One Day, TNC Town Hall, more upcoming shows on TNC. Please follow our channel on Facebook and YouTube, and let us help you #see the new you. Okay, back to my nakakabagot.
Nakababagot. That's right.
Nakababagot. Okay, Kyle, Vincent, ladies and gentlemen in the house, we thank you for your time. Honored that you are here. It's early morning there. We don't have an idea how awake you are. I doubt even if you can remember this interview. But anyway, thank you for
I have no
coming.
idea where I am or who I am, but I'll have some more tea. Thank you.
Yes, please do. Cheers. Okay, the game is called Big or Small. I'm going to mention an item, and then you just tell us if you prefer the item to be big or small. Game?
Okay.
Item number 1, coffee.
I don't drink it, so small.
Milk tea.
I don't drink milk. Small.
Okay.
Tea,
Car.
large. Car.
Car.
Small. I have the smallest car in the world.
House.
Small.
Credit limit in credit cards.
At this time in the world, big.
So it depends.
That's right. We'll say big.
Wallet.
Boy, I'm such negative Nelly here. I don't carry a wallet, so I'll say small.
Planet in the solar system.
I love astronomy and planets. This is interesting. Well, I don't want to discriminate, but I'll go big.
Okay, look at big.
Yeah.
Bed.
Believe it or not, small.
I don't believe it, but yes. You
It's
said
true. It's true. I like to sleep in a small bed.
it. Okay.
That's your
Wristwatch.
inside scoop of the day.
Yes, it is. Wristwatch.
Wristwatch. I guess big, so I can look like a real man.
Okay. Now we know that you're just trying to look like one.
That's right. I spend my whole life trying. Haven't gotten there yet. Still working on it.
All right. Okay. Which item now? Okay. Now answer the question. If heaven is true, except from your family members and myself, who do you want to take with you to heaven if you're going to go up there tonight?
A vegan chef.
Does he have a name?
I stumped him. I don't have one in mind. No.
Okay.
Anyone.
Okay. If you're a barber, whose Hollywood artist you would like to cut hair this pandemic?
Are we back to big and small? No, this is just a regular question.
No, yeah.
Whose hair would I like to cut in Hollywood? Dakota Johnson.
All right. If you're a
First
gym
thing that came to
instructor,
mind.
if you're a gym instructor, whose political leader you'd like to train in the gym?
Political leader I'd like to train in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Probably our current one.
Does he have a name?
That. Yes, but we won't. Yes, we'll just let it go.
Okay. If you were an astronaut, who do you want to take with you to the outer space? One person only.
One person. It has to be a human. It has to be human.
Hopefully.
You know, I'm gonna have to pass and get back to this one.
Okay. Last question. You have all the money in the world.
Oh, Gilbert O'Sullivan, so he can sing to me. There you go.
Okay, Gilbert. The name is Gilbert.
O'Sullivan. Yeah, Gilbert.
Okay.
There you go.
There's only one.
Just don't leave it at Gilbert. People are going to wonder, well, who's Gilbert? No, he's a singer.
Let them do the Google search.
Let's find who Gilbert is.
Okay.
Gilbert sitting in a tree. Okay, go on.
The follow-up question to that question is only one person can go back to Earth. Who is it gonna be?
Oh, we'll let Gilbert go back to Earth so he can continue singing for people, and I'll live happily on the moon.
Okay. Last question. You have all the money in the world. Which company are you going to buy? Universal. Universe.
A company agriculture company that grows watermelons.
Okay.
So I can have an endless supply of watermelons.
Yeah. Joyce Christian said it has to be human. Yes. I suppose I suppose Gilbert was human.
Gilbert O'Sullivan is human. Yes. Well, I was going to go with chipmunk because I have a pet chipmunk who lives outside, and I feed him every day, and I'd be very sad if I had to leave him here. So I would probably bring him.
I agree. All right. Thank you so much for playing the game. Although you did not get the perfect score, I think you got a passing grade.
Not.
Yeah, you did. Sorry, I'm sorry, but you didn't.
Lloyd, would you like me to sing? Because my computer is going to die here, and I have.
I'm going there. Actually, that's the next thing. Can you sing for us, Tagalog?
I could sing you just a little bit Tagalog before my laptop does because I didn't bring the charger.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
I think I know the words without looking, but just not to. I don't want to.
I'll tell you the words if you miss it. I can, in fact.
That's right. You were singing along earlier.
One of our favorites here in the Philippines, by the way. One of the most sang song in the Philippines.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
I would love to know what Wency thinks about my version. I actually recorded it. But the first time I heard this song, I just melted. I just loved it. Okay, we're down to 6%. I better do something. I have no idea what key it's in because I don't know what time it is or what planet I'm on, but we'll see what happens. Ilang ulit. Okay, ready? 2 and a 1 and a 2. Ilang ulit mo nang itinatanong sa akin kung hanggang saan. Hanggang saan, hanggang kailan magtatagal ang aking pagmamahal. Hanggang mahimik pa akong naririnig dito sa ating daigdig. Hanggang may musika akong tinataglay, kita iniibig. Here's the big part. Gili, wag mo sanang isiping, ikaw ay aking lilisaning. Di ko magagawang lumayo sa iyong piling. At nais kong malaman mo. Wait a second, let me make sure. At nais kong malaman mo kung gaano kita. Wait a second, hold on. I don't have the words here. I think I had it right.
Kamahal.
Kung gaano kita kamahal. There you go. Now the computer can die.
Okay, verse 2.
Oh my God. Actually, verse 2 is even nicer.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's funny. I would sing.
Jocelyn says, Kyle, you sing really very good Filipino song. You can see on the comment stream. And then Joyce says, Hanggang for the win.
Oh, how sweet. Hanggang
I tell you,
Americans,
every bar, every household in the karaoke, one of the most popular song is Hanggang. It's a really touching song. I agree to that. So.
It means for Americans, it means until hanggang, and it's hanggang. It's a very beautiful song, very beautiful.
It's almost a national anthem here.
Well, you know, it's the one thing. Like I always imagine when I go to foreign countries, I imagine other Americans. Like, what would they think if they were there? And the first thing you realize, one of the first things you realize when you're in the Philippines, is how incredibly popular Air Supply is. From just born child, the first word, is an Air Supply song. Lost in love, and I do. I mean, it's incredible. Everywhere you go, you'll be 3 a.m. walking the streets of Makati, and you'll hear Air Supply beaming from some speaker somewhere. Every taxi. And it's just funny because in the U.S., Air Supply is thought of as a classical act from, classic pop act from the 80s or so. And I mean, I love that band. I was so happy when I arrived. And why is Air Supply everywhere?
Let's just say that we are unable to move on. We were stuck.
But see, this is why I connect with the Filipinos and the Philippines so much. This is why I feel so warm when I'm there, because it's like I never realized that there was a country in the world that had the same, unapologetic love of these sweet songs. And just because time moves on doesn't mean these songs go away. And I listen to them all the time. I listen to Seals and Crofts all the time.
We have all in our FM radio stations. We have the entire Sunday for old songs.
Wow!
So
that's great.
If you are hearing old songs, it must be a Sunday.
Oh, I like that. That's a nice lyric. I might
Right.
steal that. If you're hearing old songs, it must be a Sunday.
Yeah, it's
If
trademark.
you're on with
It's trademark
Luna,
already.
it's a fun day. There you go.
If you have Kyle Vincent, it must be.
The wrong day. So but it could be your song day. Wow, see, we just wrote a hit.
Someday it can be.
I'm moving to Nashville.
All right. So my question, this about live events. I was telling you before we pause for a commercial break. Live events. How do you see, has it changed when you go back in your tours? What are the changes you're anticipating? Are you ready to go back on stage? What are your thoughts about moving forward from this unprecedented situation?
Oh my God! As I said earlier, I couldn't miss it anymore. I'm missing the connection, and it's like if somebody just took your job away from you, just like that. And so I can't wait to get back there. I had a big tour. This is my 20th album in the year 2020, and I had a goal to visit 20 countries, and we had all these tours booked. So wah. I don't mean to whine, but we'll be out there again, and I think it'll be basically the way it was before. Honestly, I've always been a bit of a germaphobe, and so I always carried hand cleaner. As I said earlier, I always wear a mask on an airplane, so it won't change too much for me. I expect maybe starting out, I might be singing to an audience wearing masks. Whatever we need to do to get through this,
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be inventive.
I'm a professional speaker, and I think next month I'm going to have my first public appearance after 7 months in a lockdown. I don't even know what to expect. I mean, last 7 months I wasn't able to hold the microphone and inspire, motivate, entertain people as well.
Right.
So I cannot even imagine me talking with a mask, or my audience are all on masks. But as you said, nothing. We don't have so much choice but to to live with the virus and try to revive the old golden old days.
Well, this is a test for us also, because it's not like this is going to be the last time. That's a political discussion in a way, but things are going to keep happening as long as the climate is in crisis and other things. So this is a test to let us know that we need, life is precious,
Let's talk a bit about that very quickly, about your being an advocate for climate environment.
Hmm.
How did it start? I mean, I know that you are really concerned about the environment, but having been trained by former Vice President Al Gore is something else. So you're taking a stage of really voicing out your advocacy around the world.
Yeah, it did start at a young age. I was born with a real connection with nature and animals. Absolutely, from the youngest age possible. Um, and I made the connection pretty early on. God, probably 25 years ago, depending on how old we're claiming we are today. It was either 20 or 30 years ago. We'll have to make the adjustment.
Mhm.
But I changed my diet uh, to what they're now calling a plant-based diet, um, because for health reasons, for the health of the animals, for the health of myself. And then I started to really study and read well before there was any talk about a climate crisis. I started realizing that our diet is connected to the earth. I mean, if you have too many cows eating too much grass, and you're going to have a problem because you're going to have to cut down a lot of trees. And the trees are the lungs of the earth. We can't lose too many trees or we will cease to breathe. The earth will cease to breathe. It's a pretty easy equation there. So I tied it in that what I could do, the best thing I could do for the climate and for the earth is to change my own behavior and my own life so that I could. Now, you could say, well, you're flying in airplanes all the time. No, that's right. I'm not perfect. And you got to get from place to place. And, you do what's best. You do what you can do. Um, so anyway, I changed my diet. And then I saw that movie, An Inconvenient Truth, a long time ago. And found an opportunity to go to Nashville and be trained and to be an authorized presenter of that slideshow. I tweaked it to include the importance of one's own diet, because you can tell people to change the car they drive. Well, that's kind of a, a first world problem. Not everybody can just magically change the car they drive. You can
Yeah,
change
I
light
agree.
bulbs. You can do certain things, but we can all change what we eat. But that's also a tough sell because you're fighting against really culture and family and upbringing. It's like,
Mhm.
well, I always grew up eating hamburgers and they give me joy. Okay, how about you try this instead? Anyway, so
Yeah.
I try not to be too preachy because, unfortunately, honestly, one of the most unfortunate things I've ever witnessed in my life, I think, is the making the climate, the environment, a political issue. If there's
Mhm.
one issue that shouldn't be political, it's the air and the water and the earth and the animals. I mean, my God, no matter who or what you believe, that should be a common desire, that we all have clean air and clean water and happy animals and happy kids and healthy kids.
Yeah.
So that's a huge disappointment. But I'm very optimistic for the future. I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to turn the corner. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Joy
Um,
says they should play his music rawer. I don't know what music that is. But who knows? You will come back on TNC to do sort of a special. Let's do it, Kyle. You singing, maybe me playing. I don't know. But
let's
we have
do
so
that.
many.
Let's do a musical version of this next
Yeah,
time.
just
Yeah,
just sort
absolutely.
of a 30-minute show, 35 songs.
I would love it. A 60-minute with 10 songs. I'd love to. Yeah, let's do it. 2 hours and 20 songs. Let's do it.
Right. Okay. Final question before I let you go back to sleep.
Sure. I've been sleeping the whole time. What are you talking about? This is all a dream.
Really? I didn't even realize you're doing that. But
This
okay,
is one
question. If
wild dream. Go ahead.
oh my goodness, I can't. I, I don't know. But maybe the last question. What's
Ask.
the big picture? Considering all things that are happening right now, what's the big picture? Maybe the things that the picture that people might be missing.
The big picture is hope. The big picture is self reflection. The big picture is compassion. use this time. I would personally think that this is a great time to use to reflect upon our. I don't mean to make this sound so deep, but it's just, again, you're getting me out of my sleep, so I'm giving you a lot of honest, deep thoughts here today, I guess. But it's a great time to realize that we're all in this together, and that is the big picture. Best that I can see it. Yep.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Vincent, we really are honored and privileged to have you in the show. Appreciate
Lloyd,
your time.
I'm really honored to be here, and I really meant it. Your questions have been wonderful. This has been inspiring to me to hear somebody ask such thoughtful questions. Thanks for doing your homework, and
All right.
and some I know you didn't plan. You just came right to you, so that's even better. And your English is superb.
Thank you so very much. Now, before I get my head so big, I would like to put you out on the
It'll
studio.
never be this big. Don't worry.
Like a bobblehead. But thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the time that we're going to do the collaboration thing on TNC. I think they
I
are
look forward
taking
to it.
note of it. Some of our viewers are saying they are excited and looking forward to do that. So yeah, word is your bond. So we're going to do that anytime soon. Very inspiring, Kyle, says Jocelyn Manalili.
I can't wait to get back and see my friends and fans in the Philippines. I love you all. Really, I just can't wait. And some of the greatest fans in the world. I need to come back there soon, and we're going to make it happen. Don't worry.
All right. So follow your Instagram account. What's the Instagram account of Kyle? Kyle KV Songs on FB and Kyle Vincent Official with the _ on IG. Thank you so
Salamat
much.
po.
Kyle.
Salamat. Salamat.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat po.
All right. Bye. Stay safe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our episode for tonight. I told you it's been inspiring at pwede na po ko magtagalog. Salamat naman sa Diyos at pwede na ako magtagalog. But I enjoyed the interview as much as everybody. I hope it's inspiring. It's not always that we have this Hollywood caliber being in our show, and I really am so impressed about the thoughts. If there's anything, I really admire those people with the deep appreciation of things, not just popular, but I'm more into people who have the heart for what they are doing, really, not just the fancy things and stuff. And Gem Vodka gave us 200 stars. Thank you, Gem Vodka Celiano, for giving us 200 stars. I think it's the biggest so far that we get. But wow, they are enjoying the show. They have enjoyed the show. Can watch it over and over again on facebook.com/TNC Now. In the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye for now. It's weekend, so I'm going to see you again on Monday. The Big Picture would like to thank Puzzle Box BPO Inc., also sponsored by Unisol, SMDC, Luluran Entrepreneur. Maraming salamat din po sa ating mga sponsors tulad ng Reway Placenta. Maraming salamat din po sa nakakalimutan ng Mr. Rice, Aliaga Rice Supply. Thank you so much, PAPSPALP, Creative Voices. Maraming salamat. Step back. I'm going to see you again on Monday. And before I go, I just would like to remind you, next is, what is next? Next show is what? Today is Friday, so anong kasunod na show? Come on, direct. Anyway, don't go away on TNC because next is, tara, they're searching for it. It's Friday, but I enjoyed. I hope you are going to have your weekend that is sweet, inspiring, and take time to recharge on the weekend. TNC Marketplace is next at 10 p.m. Stay on TNC. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.